Hi, welcome back to Tierra Querida. Today we'll be talking about some of the things that you might want to check out while you're here, some of the tourist things, and also some of the food places you might want to check out. Super delicious and highly recommend. If you're interested, keep on watching. We're going to start off strong with Pike Place. I know it's recommended in every YouTube video you've watched or some kind of vlog that you've found and searched up, but it's really worth the hype. There's, not a lot of places you can say that about that it's worth the hype, but I highly suggest you go over to Pike Place. There are food, jewelry, clothing, artwork type of vendors. You can get a good variety of things, and you can also eat while you're there. There's a couple of restaurants. If you go down to the bottom floor, you'll see the fisherman or the guy selling, the seafood, tossing fish around. It's fun to watch and interact with them, and also just to try different things that you might find while you're there. The vendors will usually sample things and try to lure you in, and just give it a try, and maybe you find something that you might have not purchased had you not tried it. Another thing that I suggest is, if you're kind of interested in the touristy things, is go to the gum wall. It's nothing crazy, but if that's something you want to check off your list, head over to just down the alleyway right before you enter the Pike Place. I don't know the alley, but it's hard to miss. There's always a bunch of people there taking pictures, sticking their gum on the wall. I haven't stuck a gum on the wall, but I do take friends and family that come up here, and that's part of their tourist trip while we're up in Seattle. Some people may agree and some may disagree, but I don't think the first Starbucks is worth the hype. I suggest you try a different coffee shop that's nearby and it's local. I guess technically Starbucks would be considered local, but it's you wait a while and just grab your drink and then you head out. So if you're really wanting to go to that first Starbucks, either to get the coffee or if you just want to take a picture, I would suggest you just take the picture rather than waste your time waiting in line to go in and grab your drink. It's not worth it. So, at least not to me, but I guess if you really want to go, just that's another big tourist thing in the Seattle area. Alright, so I said no to the original Starbucks, but you're thinking, okay, where else can I go? And I have the solution for you. Instead of waiting in line forever at the original Starbucks, you can head over to the Starbucks Reserve, which is very spacious. There's a lot of seating, and it's huge. It's, your Starbucks Reserve, you have your specialty, only coffees that are sold there. I've tried what is it called? The whiskey barrel aged coffee bean. I actually brought some home. And it's just really good. They have a lot of food options for you there. You can have your espresso martinis, which are really good. The food is, coffee shop type food, but it's still good. And the staff is really kind. I, really liked it, and I've gone a couple times. I've taken some family and friends there, and they also really enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a more unique experience than, your first Starbucks. So highly suggest you check it out. If you visit during the summer, I highly suggest you go to Alki Beach. It's not too far from downtown, but it's really nice and relaxing. There's a couple different food shops there, restaurants you can try, and they're really good. It does get busy. Parking is a little bit tricky, but once you do find that parking, and you can go out and grab you some food, go for a little picnic type of beach day, and it's really nice, and a lot of families go there too, so it's very family friendly. Another big spot that most people want to go to when they come to Seattle is the Space Needle. I suggest you get the combination ticket with the Glass and Garden right next to it and start there. There's a lot of really neat glasswork there. I'll put some video for you to kind of gauge on what it looks like, but it's really neat. There's a lot of things to see. You can stay afterwards after you're done doing the walking around inside and watch some of the glass artwork that they do. They also have a little cafe. It's really nice and relaxing if you want to check that out. And then I would suggest you go over to the Space Needle during sunset. And it's really just, it's so beautiful. The city starts to light up and the sun just going down, the mountains in the back. It's really wonderful. I suggest that you schedule your start time for sunset. It does get busy during sunset, so just a heads up, but it's nice. And you can also make reservations to dine in there. I haven't dined in, but it looks nice, and you know, you spin around in the Space Needle, and it seems like a bit of a romantic type dinner date, so just be prepared for that. One thing that I feel is a little bit overlooked when it comes to these types of videos by other people is the Seattle Art Museum. There's a lot of really cool artwork there, and a lot of you know, history behind some of those artwork pieces and things like that. So I highly suggest you make sure you eat before you go, because it is, I think it's like 3 or 4 floors, and there's a lot to look at, and it's all really interesting and really neat. So make sure you eat before. Go over there, walk around, look at what they have. It's 10 out of 10 if you're into museums. If you're not, it's probably not the thing for you, but there's a lot of cool things to look at, so check it out if you can. Now we've talked about different places you want to go see while you're here in Seattle. Now I want to recommend you a couple places you want to eat at. One of them being Biscuit Bitch. It's a breakfast spot, and they have great coffee, great biscuits, great breakfast, and they're really friendly. They do get really busy, so be prepared to wait in line or you know, just grab it to go. But it's really good. Give them a shot. They're super kind. Alright, now that you've walked around for a couple of hours at Pike, because they can take a couple hours if you're just kind of walking around, checking it out, I suggest you go to Los Agaves if you're feeling Mexican food. Now, if you're feeling something a little bit different, I would suggest you try the Turkish Delight at Pike. It's all right there, so you don't have to walk too far, or you can go to Mr. D's Greek Delicacies. If you're not feeling Turkish, Mexican, or Greek food, I suggest you go over to La Japonesa Sushi Cocina. They are Mexican Japanese fusion restaurant. It's really good. You can tell they put a lot of love in their food, just from the way it's presented, and you know, the ingredients that they use. It tastes really fresh. They have great drinks too, so give them a shot either for lunch or dinner. They do get busy, so make sure you make a reservation before you head out. Alright, well, I hope you found this video helpful in planning your Seattle trip, whether that's a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day weekend, whatever. I hope you were able to visit some of these places I've recommended to you. If you liked any of them or have been to any of them and suggest a specific dish or any other additional tips that someone else might find helpful, leave them in the comments, and we'll be seeing you soon at the next video. Bye!